Guys, welcome to another unboxing. I hope you guys are well. It's been quite a while since my last unboxing, and I just decided I have to prioritize this week and make sure that I get another video out. I really enjoy communicating with you guys in the chat box or in the comment section, rather. I really enjoy that. So, thank you to those of you that are reaching out and that are sharing their thoughts on the box sets and the series that I'm unboxing on this channel. And thank you for watching the videos and for being part of this channel. Alright, so today we'll be talking about Burnouters. Alright, and this is another great series to watch. This series has 7 seasons, so as you can see, this is the complete series. All 7 seasons are included, as well as the movie, The Fall of Sam Axe. And if you have some background on Burnouters, you will know that this is the only box set that actually includes that movie. And that's basically based on Michael's best friend, Sam Axe, on his, in his days as a Navy SEAL and what happened to him. And a lot of interesting, things that comes from that movie. And an extra bonus content aspect of this box set. But let's start with the front, and I think the front cover art is quite well. It looks quite good. I've had this box set for quite a while, so I didn't buy it recently, but it's still in a very good condition. I do love the series, and I actually have started to rewatch this series because of the complexity of this series. There's a lot to forget over time, and it's quite nice to go back to this and to rewatch this. I wouldn't recommend watching episodes of this series when you are tired or not gonna focus, because there's lots of things happening in most of the episodes, so you have to focus and really keep track of what's happening. But it's a well-written series, and it's one of my favorite series as well, and that's why I have it as a box set. So that's the front. If we go to the side, it's just the basic side, as you guys can see there. Just again, Burnouters, the complete series, all 7 seasons. And then at the back, you guys can see some information on each season. Basically gives you a little description of what's happening in every season. And they also show you what the individual box sets would have looked like if you would have purchased them separately. I know there's a box set that also actually has this series in this sort of format, where you get the separate Amaray cases, and you guys can see there in the middle is The Fall of Sam Axe. If we just zoom in there. Alright, so this movie is included here, and then there's some special features listed for each season there, and then you guys can just see the basic information at the bottom. So that is the back. That's basically regarding the box. Alright, I already took out the box set cases, as you guys would have seen in the beginning. So let's start with the first box set. Alright, so the first box set, you guys can see the front of the set. So this includes seasons 1 to 4 and The Fall of Sam Axe. And then there's the spine, just basically the same thing again, as you guys can see there. And then we'll move to the back, and just again shows the individual box sets cases there for seasons 1 to 4 and The Fall of Sam Axe. And once again gives you a description, a little summary of what's happening in every season here, and some of the other information there at the bottom. So what actually happens in this series is the pilot actually starts off with Michael being in Africa, and especially in Nigeria specifically. And he's basically there on a deal on behalf of the government for whom he works. They're also known as management. And he goes to see this guy that blows up oil refineries, and he's actually making a deal with him to stop blowing up oil refineries, and basically he's gonna pay money into his account and make some sort of deal regarding that. Just a side note, you guys will see there's some lights going on and off there. So that's just my Christmas lights. There's my Christmas tree getting into the festive season. So yeah, you guys can see it there. So I just wanted to mention that as a side note, so sorry for that. But in any case, so yeah, Michael basically tries to make this deal, and he phones someone, to do the transfer on his behalf for this, for this guy he's seeing. And yeah, they inform him that he's been burned and that they cannot, transfer the money, and they basically, put down the phone in his ear, and he's stuck trying to quickly think about, ways of escaping and getting out of this. And he makes up some lie of telling, this guy that he's part of the CIA and he was just trying to steal his money and it's nothing personal and so on. And yeah, it kicks off really well, the pilot episode, and they basically take him to the bathroom, and they, after beating him up a bit, they take him to the bathroom. And he's already bleeding and lots of bruises and stuff like that, which you'll see later on when he wakes up in Miami. But then what I love about this series is the narration that Michael does on everything that's interesting in every episode. So, for example, he'll explain in the pilot, why he likes to fight in bathrooms, and the fact that there's lots of hard surfaces that you can use to your advantage. And there's lots of times when he's building some sort of a bomb or a gadget or a listening device, and he'll explain that step by step. In another, episode, he'll be in a car chase, and he'll be telling you about ways to, successfully get out of a car chase and lose the other guy in the race, or the guy that's chasing you and possibly trying to shoot you or whatever. And you'll, describe everything regarding that. And I love that. I know some people might not like that, but I thought it was, yeah, a nice addition to this series. And it keeps you, stuck to your seat. Every moment of this series. So it really starts off well, and then he eventually, gets on a plane after escaping on a bike. And he wakes up after a few days of being passed out in a motel room somewhere, and his ex-girlfriend is sitting there, and she's sort of kicking him in his side, and he's waking up with lots of bruises and a lot of sores on his body and whatever, bruises and stuff. And the series kicks off, and he's now stuck in Miami basically, and he basically needs to try and find out what happened and why was he burned. So he always says this in the start of every episode, when the episode is just starting, when a spy gets burned, there's no phone call, or there's no sort of notification that you go through, or let's say retrenchment process or whatever. You don't get any notice, you immediately fired. And he mentions this in the pilot, that they can't take away your knowledge and your skills, but they take away the resources that helps you to operate, like your money and your credit history and all of that, so that you basically don't have any money or any thing that you can use in order to carry out missions on your own, or try and get back at the government or whatever. So they really take away all. They basically blacklist you, and they they froze his bank account as well when he was trying to check into an hotel. So all of those things comes out, and he explains what the life of being a spy is all about, and what happens when you get burned. So when you get burned is basically, in layman's terms, a spy that gets fired. So it's not actually someone that gets physically burned, but it's just a figure of speech, meaning a spy gets fired basically. So the reason why Fiona was, in his room when he was waking up after being passed out, is that she was still listed as his emergency contact. And that's why I think she came from New York or something like that. And she has a very Irish accent, And later on she changes that in season one, not long after the pilot, and she talks a bit differently. But yeah, later on in the series, her brother also comes to visit her, and he has problems and stuff that they help him with. But basically, Michael is now in Miami. He's stuck there. He has to reconnect with his family and his friends, and his friends includes Sam Axe, who's also referred to as Chuck Finley sometimes if they're on a mission. You'll sometimes use that as a cover name to do things and to carry out their missions, because they basically go and help people with troubled situations, whether it's a kidnapping case or a missing person case or whatever. They do these little side missions, and while this is happening, he's also trying to find out how he can get back into his old job as a spy and find out exactly who burned him and all of that. So it's really interesting, and every episode is different, and they do different things every episode, and there's lots of emotional things happening in this series as well. And basically, Fiona wants to reconnect with Michael, and he just wants to leave Miami as soon as possible. And then, he reconnects with Sam Axe, as I said, who's played by Bruce Campbell. And Gabrielle Anwar, who is played the role of Fiona, and then Michael Weston, who's the main star of the series, who's played by Jeffrey Donovan. We also have Kobe Bell, who comes in season 4, who plays Jesse Porter. He later on joins the team. He's there at the back. If you look at this front cover, there's Jesse at the back, and then his mom is also there. So Madeline Weston, there she is, and then we have Sam Axe, and we have Michael Weston, and then we have Fiona, who's his ex-girlfriend. But she can fight really well. She's very into firearms and stuff like that. She's also sort of a bounty hunter, and there's lots of interesting things happening with that. Sam is also basically now a retired out of work Navy SEAL, and he basically sponges off women that he meets, and they sort of provide for all his needs in different ways, with money and all of that. And he basically uses every opportunity that he can get to benefit somehow, while meeting these women and whatever. And they sometimes give him cars and stuff like that, but it's also very interesting. He also plays his role very well, extremely well. And he also informs on Michael to the FBI, which he doesn't want to do, but they sort of have his pension tied up, and he has to provide them with information. But later on, Michael basically realizes this after finding a listening device in his car. Then Sam sort of began at that stage in season 1 to get closer to Michael and all of that. So this series basically started in June the 28th of 2007, and it ended on the 12th of September 2013. So quite a long period, and 7 seasons. And this series was created by Matt Nix, who has written the series extremely well, the storyline and all of that. So I was extremely pleased with this, and I think it was well thought out, well thought through, and the characters that they chose and the actors to represent those characters were brilliant at the end of the day. Michael also has a brother. He's called Nate Weston, right? And as I said, his mom is Madeline Weston, and Nate is sort of the younger brother, and he never has a stable job, and they have to reconnect as well. And then there's a lot of talk about Michael's father and how he grew up, and you sort of get the idea that he mentions a couple of things. He has a scar on his face just below his one eye, which he mentions to his mom at some stage in the first season. And he never went to his father's funeral, but he was basically they were abused during their childhood, and they didn't have good memories about their dad and whatever. So, and then Michael's mom tries to, talk about his father in saying stuff that he never did, and making it sound like his childhood was much better than what it actually was. And she was like sort of trying to forget all the bad memories regarding that, and he has to remind her of that at some stage as well. Okay, so this is basically the inside of this first box set for seasons 1 to 4 and the Fall of Sam X. So what I also like is you guys can see the episodes are listed here and the season, so you know exactly where to find what episode on, whatever disc, and the background is also nice, representing Miami. And what I also like about this is the fact that every season has different, disc art on it. So this blue is for season 1, so you guys can see it's for episodes 1 to 3. And then we get to the next disc here, which is for episodes 4 to 7. The next disc, season 1, still episodes 8 to 10. And then episode 11 there. All right, on the last disc. And then we start with season 2, and you guys can see that the disc art changes, and they use every character on a different disc every time, so that's also quite nice. So this is for season 2. Just gonna turn it a bit there so you guys can see that. So there's Sam X, there's his mom, Madeline Weston. And then we get to season 3, and then the disc art changes again, which is quite lovely, I must say. I enjoyed this really. And then we get to season 4, and you guys can see once again the disc art changes here as well. So it's very colorful disc art on every disc. And then lastly we have the Fall of Sam X, and they use different artwork for that as well. And then just once again for season 3 and season 4, you guys can see the episodes and the Fall of Sam X there, the movie. So if you guys want to read through that, you can pause the video if you'd like. And that's basically for the first box set, seasons 1 to 4 and the Fall of Sam X. Okay, so next up is seasons 5 through 7. So there's the front, so the artwork is a bit different. They basically looking back, so it's like reversed art almost. And then there's the spine, and once again what the individuals box sets would have looked like for the last 3 seasons here, 5, 6 and 7. Seasons 5, 6 and 7, with the little summary of what each season is about just shortly, and then basic information there. Okay, so once again, when you open the set, there's season 5 and 6, all the episodes with the episode names and the disc numbers and all of that. Again, the art behind this is extremely nice. And also take this out for you guys, and you guys can see there, can get a better picture of what it looks like behind the discs. This comes out, so it's not broken. It does work like this, it's removable. So I'll just put it back like that, so you guys can see the disc art again changes, and it's very colorful, very nice. So that's for season 5. Then season 6 starts here with Michael in that suit of his, and there's Fiona again, Sam X. And then we get to season 6, there's disc 4, Jesse Porter. And then lastly we get to season 7, and the disc art changes again, and it's once again very colorful. So they didn't hold back in regards to printing costs or trying to save on printing costs or whatever. They really went all the way with the disc art, in my opinion. And then there's the very last disc of the series, disc 4 of season 7. So basically during the seasons 5 through 7, things get a lot more complicated, things get a lot more emotional, and there's things that happens to Michael that sort of scares you and worries you, and you wonder if he's gonna reconnect with his friends and his family, and whether he's coming back to Miami or not. And I don't want to elaborate too much on the detail. You guys should go and watch this series, but I don't think you'll regret watching this series. Once you've started with the pilot, it sort of grabs you, and you get into this quite quickly. So just here and there, some special mentionings. One of the actors that you will see during the course of this series is a guy called Chris Vance. And he also featured in a Y50 where he played Harry Langford. And yeah, he visited Steve and Danny quite a few times, and they actually met in season 7 in the Y50. He also played in Prison Break, so his name in the series is called Mason Kilroy. And also another character that you guys might recognize is that of Paul Blackthorne, and he plays Thomas O'Neill in this series for an episode where he plays a bad guy, and he was basically Laura Lance's father in Arrow, in the series Arrow. He played her father. So yeah, there's lots of other actors that also makes their appearance. Yeah, I just listed those two for you guys just to take note of, but you'll see many more actors making their appearance in the series. And yeah, I think you guys, if you don't have this box set, or at least if you don't buy the box set, please try and stream this in some way as well on Disney Plus or whatever. But yeah, the box set is quite nice, and I think the disc art and everything makes it to be a very nice box set in the end. So yeah, this was my review on Burn Notice and a little unboxing and a bit of background. And yeah, please subscribe, please like the videos, and please share your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Bye.